Welcome everyone, I am Sai Praneeth. Today we are going to take a deep dive into the fascinating world of reasoning with large language models. It is a field that's rapidly evolving and it's changing how we think about AI's potential. Large language models, they are truly remarkable, and they are trained on a massive amount of text data, and they can do things that would have seemed like science fiction just a few years ago. They can write like humans, translate languages, generate creative text formats, and even answer your questions in a way that feels almost human. But can they reason? That's the question we are going to explore today. Traditionally, LLMs have been great at tasks that involve pattern recognition and association, often called System 1 tasks. But System 2 tasks, the ones that require complex reasoning, logical deduction, and problem solving, have been more difficult for LLMs to handle. The way LLMs reason can be broken down into a three-step pipeline, and think of it like a recipe for problem solving. First, you need to generate the steps you'll take, and then you need to evaluate those steps to make sure they are sound, and finally you have to control the whole process, deciding how many steps to take and how far to go. This is what we'll focus on today. So how do you actually get an LLM to start reasoning? The first step is to generate the reasoning steps themselves. There are three main approaches. One approach is the handwritten up prompt, and we can explicitly tell the LLM what steps to take by writing out a prompt. This works well for simple problems, but it can be time consuming and might not generalize well to new problems. Let's look at an example. This is a math word problem from the GSM 8K benchmark. It is a common type of problem used to test reasoning skills, and here is an example of how a handwritten prompt could guide an LLM through the steps. The problem is Beth bakes 4 to dozen batches of cookies in a week. If these cookies are shared among 16 people equally, how many cookies does each person consume? And here's a handwritten prompt. Calculate the total number of cookies baked, 4 times 2 times 12. Divide the total number of cookies by number of people, that is 16. Once the LLM has generated its reasoning steps, the next challenge is to evaluate those steps. We need to make sure they are accurate and that the LLM isn't making any mistakes. There are three main approaches to step evaluation, and first we can try to self-assess. We can prompt the LLM to evaluate its own steps. However, this is a tough task. LLMs aren't inherently good at self-critique, just like humans sometimes struggle to assess their own reasoning. Now we come to the third stage, controlling the reasoning process. Think of it as steering the LLM through the steps it's generating. We want to make sure the LLM takes the right steps, that it doesn't get lost, and that it comes to a logical conclusion. There are four main strategies. The simplest approach is greedy selection. The LLM simply takes the next step that seems most likely based on the current situation. This is quick, but it can lead to suboptimal solutions because the LLM might not be able to see the big picture. Researchers have discovered some really powerful techniques for prompting LLMs to reason. These techniques have led to significant breakthroughs in how LLMs handle complex problems. Let me highlight a few of them. One of the techniques is called chain of thought. This encourages LLM to provide step-by-step reasoning in their responses. This simple change has dramatically improved their performance on tasks like math word problems. Despite all this progress, there are still some challenges that need to be addressed. One challenge is hallucination. LLMs are prone to making up facts or generating nonsensical information. We need to find ways to mitigate these hallucinations and make LLMs more reliable. Prompt-based reasoning is changing the way we think about AI. LLMs can now solve complex problems that were once considered impossible. This has exciting implications for so many areas of our lives, from science and engineering to education and healthcare. The future of reasoning with LLMs is incredibly bright. As research continues, we can expect to see even more incredible advances. I'm excited to see where this field takes us in the years to come. Thank you.